Hello, everybody. My name is Travis, and this is the Daily Travesty. And we are going to be streaming some sweet Forgotten Realms draft. We did do one draft yesterday. First one went okay. We ended up 5-3 with the black-white venturing deck. And yeah, I'm excited to do another draft here and see what we can get into. Hope everyone out there is having a nice day. Let me know where you're at and how your day's going. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into a Forgotten Realms draft. First one went really well. Could have done a little bit better. I think we didn't get enough payoffs for the venturing deck. We had one Cloister Gargoyle and that one uncommon multicolored black-white card, the dwarf. I think we could have probably used a couple more payoffs, but I thought the deck ended up being solid. Paladin class ended up being a really good performer. Oh, sweet. Red on, Patty Laddie. Welcome. Yeah, and yeah, the actual drafting, honestly, the actual drafting is the most interesting part. Let's be honest. I mean, it's fun to watch people play matches, but I agree. I think drafting is the more interesting thing to watch. And yeah, I hope your draft tonight goes well, Patty Laddie. What does Guardian of Faith do? 3 mana, 3/2 Flash Vigilance, and you can kind of save some stuff. That seems pretty good. I wonder... This card doesn't seem to fit any of the themes. It just kind of goes in any white deck, which is pretty good to start with. Ray of Enfeeblement was an well, I don't know if it was an overperformer, but I was really impressed with this card in our draft yesterday. There's a lot of X1s, and if you play against a white creature, you just get them, right? So it can also be used kind of like a combat trick to win a combat. Hunter's Mark, I think, is really good. Your creature gets +1/+1, and then you punch something in the face. Good against blue. Minimus Containment was really good as well. Veteran Dungeoneer was good in our deck. So couple cards to pick here. I think I'm going to go with a removal spell. And yeah, this Guardian of Faith looks good, but I think I do want to just start with a removal spell. I'll take the instant speed spell. I don't know if we're going to end up in green, but something to start with. Choose your weapon. Double something's power or deal 5 damage to a creature with flying. Yeah, I think this card's fine. I don't want to take it here. Hama Pashar, I think, is really good in blue-white if you're doing a whole bunch of dungeoning stuff. Barrowin was good in our deck. I find that we didn't get to activate it that much, and by the time you finish the dungeon, a 3/3 that... when you attack with 3/3, it's probably going to die, but you might get a trigger off of it. Looking around, Grim Bounty is really good, and that's probably what I'm going to take here. Just another good removal spell. We might end up in a green-black deck, or we might end up in neither green nor black, but I'm going to start the removal spell. I think both these uncommons are really good, but I would rather start with single-colored cards and see where we end up. This looks like a nice 2-drop. This card seems okay. This is good, but expensive, so yeah, I don't know. Might regret passing the uncommons, but I want to stay a little bit open here. I think Guild Thief is pretty good. Like, if you play this early and get a couple 1/1 counters on it, that's really good. And if you can make it unblockable, that's pretty sweet. So that's a nice blue card. Here's another Ray of Enfeeblement, which I do think is a card worth playing. Pegasus was fine. I think this Valor Singer is good too. 3 mana, 3/3. Or you can make something else a bit better. So we're seeing a bit of blue here. Not so much in the... Well, there's a Ray of Enfeeblement. I think the best upside card is maybe this Guild Thief. If you're in like a blue-black deck and you can push stuff through. Maybe Ray of Enfeeblement's just better. And we already have one black card. I'm not sure what's better here. I'm going to take the Ray because we already have a black card, but I could see this Guild Thief being really good. Not really sure where to go with the set right now. And here, a lot of red cards in this pack. Sometimes that'll happen. We have the Gloomstalker if we wanted to go for the black-white venture deck again. I don't think this card's that great on its own. You kind of really want to already have the cards that let you venture. I do think this is good, but it's 2 colors we're not currently in. It is possible that we could be like a black-red deck. I don't think these green cards are worth looking at. We have seen some blue, but this card is just kind of medium. You find some prisoners is decent. There are some artifacts you want to kill, or you just draw one of your opponent's best cards. You see a pair of goblins is decent in red. I'm not really sure what to go with here. So maybe I'll just take another damage spell. I don't know if improvised weaponry is that good, but you do get a treasure off of it, and black-red wants to make treasures. Well, I think this card's okay in green-white. Priest of Ancient Lore is a good card. Draw a card, gain a life. Fits nicely into pretty much any deck. I think Plundering Barbarian is good in the black-red deck. You either destroy an artifact or you create a treasure. And black-red does want to do the treasure thing. So, because we just took a red card, maybe we take this red card. There's also a Sepulchre Ghoul, which is better in the green-black deck. We are seeing a bit of white, but I think this card is obviously good in black-red, and we already took a couple black cards. Hard to say where we're supposed to be here. We could take a Sepulchre Ghoul here. We could take the Thieves' Tools. You get a treasure right away, and then you can make something unblockable. Not really that important yet, but having treasure around is nice. Incidental treasures. Spoils of the Hunt is good as a green spell. It's got a lot of text on it, but you basically just kill something, right? And maybe like a black-red? I don't know what we're supposed to do. I think this Spoils is pretty good. I think it's better than taking one of these cards, because it is a fight spell or a punch spell. Like, you just kill something with it. So maybe stay a little bit open at the start here. I don't think Wish is worth taking. Play a card you own from outside the game. You basically have to play something from your sideboard, and it costs 3 mana more. It doesn't really make sense to me. Vampire Spawn is fine. It just comes in and drains them for 2. I think Hill Giant can be really nice. 6 mana, 7/6. And we do have some nice fight cards that go with the Hill Giant. Probably better than a random Vampire Spawn, and we're not even sure if we're in black. So I'm going to take the Herd Gorger. Although that's not a super high pick. Maybe it's better just to take the cheaper card, but we are seeing a bit of red here, so maybe it was good to kind of dip into red a bit. Also some white. This card, I think, is okay. I mean, if you get your opponent to sack stuff, that's cool. Here's a 2-drop. That could be good. Another improvised weaponry, but we already have like some other cards. I kind of wanted to start taking creatures. So maybe I'll take this red 2-drop. I don't know if that's silly or not, but random 2/2 that can have menace sometimes seems decent. Oh, wow. Well, Minimus Containment probably shouldn't be wheeling or going around the table. This card is very good. It just gets rid of anything. But there's also an Owlbear here, and we were kind of dipping into green already. Owlbear is really good. 5 mana, 4/4. Draw card. So I am kind of seeing the white signals, but we already have a bunch of green cards. Maybe we're supposed to be like green-white. Who knows? Here, because there's a nice red 2-drop, I'll take this. There's also a white 2-drop. This isn't that great in green-white, because green-white's more of a life gain thing, less of an equipment thing. So I'm going to take this Hobgoblin Captain. It's an aggressive 2-drop, and if you have enough cards with enough power, it attacks as a first striker. So that seems pretty good. Oh, nice. And then this Valor Singer. Okay, well, I think we might end up in red-green here, which is not where I thought we would be, but you just got to see what comes flowing to you. Valor Singer's nice. It can also pump up something else to make Pack Tactics a little bit better. Pack Tactics is the green-red ability. Basically, if you're attacking with creatures that have total power 6 or greater, something cool happens. Nice. Well, happy to see a pair of goblins here. Probably making 1/1s most of the time with this. But sometimes you might pump up your team. So happy to take that. I almost took that the first time we saw it. So here I'm not really happy or excited about either of these. I'll just take the green card, but I don't think we're going to play it. The longbow, and I don't think we're going to play the Boots of Speed either. So I'm going to take those out for right now. And I'm going to move the black out as well, because I don't think we're going to be playing black. Well, Nadar's Selfless Paladin is really good. You venture when it hits the battlefield or when it attacks. We were kind of seeing red-green a bit that last pack. I don't really want to speculate on this. I guess we could end up in like a green-white or a red-white deck with that. Displacer Beast is good, but we're not in blue. We're not really in black. Huh. There isn't really that much for us. I guess this Direwolf Prowler would be an okay card. Can attack as a 4/4, which is good for pack tactics, but I might just speculate on the Nadar here. We did see some white going around the first time. I don't think I'm going to miss any of these cards. And who knows, maybe we'll be in white, and that'll be really good. You don't need equipment in D&D. Okay, well, Death Priest of Miracle is good. Reaper's Talisman is really good. Here's a red dragon. 6 mana, 4/4, deal 4 to your opponent. Oh, Dragon's Fire is nice. That's probably what I'm taking here. I mean, Red Dragon is fine, but I already have a couple expensive cards. And this is just a decent removal spell, right? 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a creature at instant speed is good. There's a lot of text on this card, but basically it deals 3 damage to a creature. So I think that's what I'm going to take here. But there are some really powerful cards in this pack. So maybe we'll get like this Red Dragon back, or the Owl Bear. I didn't even see that. I would love to get one of those 2 cards back. And red-green did seem open, so it is possible we end up with that. I don't think this card's good, right? No, something about artifact stuff. Well, here's an uncommon in our colors. Pack tactics, attacking creatures get bigger, you can double its power. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's going to be a good 2-drop. I think this card is okay as well. Get some lands for your bigger spells, like your Herd Gorgers and stuff. Yeah, I think we'll just take the nice 2-drop here. It is just a 2-mana 2/2 a lot of the time, but then sometimes your creatures get bigger, and if you have 4 mana, you can make it a 4/4. That's pretty cool. So we'll take the 2-drop. And that pretty much locks us into red-green, which is where we were before. Like, let's make no mistake. This Selfless Paladin, we took over basically nothing. So I'm going to get it out of there for now. Again, Find Some Prisoners is fine. This is a blue-red card. Valor Singer, Improvised Weaponry. I think I would rather have another Valor Singer. It fills out the curve nicely, and you can get tricky. Like, you could make this Targnar a 3/2 and then double its power so it triggers its own pack tactics thing, maybe. I don't know, but I'll take the nice 3-drop. I assume you don't play Plummet in your main deck, so if you're playing Best of One, you probably don't want that card. Here we have a 2-drop. We also have Circle of the Moon Druid. Should be a comma there, right? It's a 4/2, so it helps with pack tactics, and it's a defensive 2/4. That's probably okay. Another Black Dragon. I think Black Dragon's really good if you can play it. Like, you get a 4/4 and you kill one of their things. But we're on the green-red plan, so we'll just take the decent 3-drop. And now we've got a lot of 3-drops. We probably want some cheaper cards and some top end. I don't think this 1/1 haste is going to do anything. Hey, Pedro, how's it going? Will I play sealed? Sure. If you would like to see some sealed, let's do some sealed. I think this Elterguard Ranger is decent. You get 2 creatures, and on its own can do the pack tactics thing because you have 4 power plus 2 power. So I'm going to take that here. Yeah, Pedro, if you want us to do some sealed, I love sealed. Sealed is super fun, and yeah, we should look into that. Here's another removal spell. Deal damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls, which is pretty good if we have these like high-powered cards like this. Even the Circle of the Moon Druid on your turn deals 4 to something. I think that's probably better than Improvised Weaponry. This is also an instant. That's kind of nice. So yeah, this deck's coming together. We probably want more creatures, like another 5 or 6 creatures, but we have a pack and a half to get there. I wouldn't mind playing this Direwolf Prowler, but I think meeting in a tavern is going to be good. If we're a creature deck, we could give everything +2/+2, get pack tactics. Or if we have nothing to do or we have no cards in our hand, we could look for some creatures. So I'm going to take you meet in a tavern. And now I really want more 2-drop creatures. You can never have enough 2-drops in these kind of decks. And we're definitely short. We've only got 3. And this one's not even really that good. So what we really want is the pack tactics goblin that you can pump all the goblins you have. Which we haven't seen any of yet, but maybe we'll see one soon. I don't know if swarming goblins is what we want, but we did just pick up like a mass pump spell. I don't think I want Price of Loyalty, and I don't really want to play this 1-drop. So I'll take this goblin card, which can be okay. I don't know if I want it that much. Here's a 4-drop creature. I don't think I want to play Boulette outside of maybe black-green, but... because black-green is just better at having creatures die and stuff, so... Wow. Okay, well, this is a 2-drop. It's not the 2-drop we want, but I don't think I need another improvised weaponry after all the other fight cards we have. We do just want creatures. I hope not to play this Brazen Dwarf, but sometimes you just take what you can get. Brazen Dwarf also not great with pack tactics because it only has 1 power. So definitely don't want to play that. Ooh, what's this? Land that becomes a 3/2 that makes 1/1s. That seems awesome. I think if you can have lands that do other awesome things, that's always worth it. Green Dragon is okay. Like, it's just kind of weird because they see it coming, so they aren't going to block so that they get owned by this. Purple Worm could be good. Yeah, I think we definitely take the land here. And after that, I might look at... I don't think this Basilisk even helps with the pack tactics, but I don't really want too many expensive spells. I would like some cheaper creatures, so probably just taking this, and after that, maybe the 2-drop. Okay, right on, Pedro. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed the beginner draft guide. I'm glad you got some value out of it. Ooh, I think a Wizard's class is nice, but we're not taking it here. I don't need another big thing. I don't think this card is even that good. Like, maybe we just put more goblins into play. Maybe we make some kind of go wide deck. Again, we already have like a mass pump effect. This is making a bunch of goblins. Like, I don't think we just want another 6-drop. There's a couple of dragons that have gone by, so maybe we'll end up with one of those. And we have enough removal spells that are creature-based that we want some good 2-drops. Jeez, where are all the 2-drops at? Skullport Merchant is really good. Not for us, but for someone's deck. Make a treasure, and then you can like draw cards later. We probably just take Hulking Bugbear. It gets us halfway to pack tactics. It has haste. It's a good-sized body. Rust Monster is also fine. I think if you have more... treasures, it's good because you want to be able to threaten, like, well, I guess we have these. I think I probably just want the 3/3 body, but I could see Rust Monster being better most of the time. Having First Strike is really good, but maybe we should have taken Rust Monster there. Hard to say. Okay, well, here's a 2-drop. I think we just have to take it. Our deck is trying to be aggressive. We really need 2-mana cards. It's kind of sad we don't have any equipment that could like get the benefit off of this, but I think that's going to be better than just another 3-mana 2/2. I'd rather have the 2-mana 2/2. Not because it's good, but we just need 2-mana cards. And here, this Inspiring Bard is decent. Pump something up or gain a bit of life. Hoarding Ogre makes treasure tokens. That would have been better with the Rust Monster. And it can turbo out some bigger stuff. But this is a more aggressive card, whereas this only attacks as a 3/3. This can pump something up. So I'll take the Bard here as a 4-drop. I don't need another improvised weaponry. So maybe just take this Hoarding Ogre. I don't know if we'll play it, but making some extra treasures isn't that bad. Bruenor Battlehammer, hey? It's a nice red-white card. Not for us, though. I don't think I want to play this Dryad. I don't think I want the Spare Dagger either. I don't really want any of these cards. Is it worth taking a Spare Dagger because of this Army Veteran? Like, I don't think we play this card ever, but maybe we really need an equipment. What does this do? 1/1 counter on a creature. Can't be blocked by walls. Venture into the dungeon. I don't think that's going to be worth it in our deck. Our deck doesn't do the dungeon thing. Maybe just another one of these Rangers. I think we're trying to go wide. I think we're trying to play as many creatures as we can. I'll take the 2-drop here. Play as many creatures as we can and just like attack every turn. Be very aggressive. Yeah, I don't mind another one of these Herd Gorgers. And the Rust Monster came back. That's cool. So maybe we do prioritize some more treasure tokens now. I don't think Compelled Duel is something we're going to want. But it's green, so take it. Oh, I guess we have the Boots of Speed, too. I don't think we want this card that much. Okay, well, at least we got there on creatures. That is the thing you need to do in draft, is get enough creatures, especially in a red-green deck. Like, it's all about creatures. So when I build my draft decks, I always start by taking out all the lands, just so they're out of the way and I don't have to think about them. We know we're going to play 17 lands, most likely. So I need to get this number down to 23. 23 other cards, 17 lands. And then the next thing I do is I go through and I take out all the cards that seem kind of bad. You're going to end up playing some worse cards, but I want to find the core of the deck that's pretty good. So I will probably play at least one of the Herd Gorgers. This I like. I don't know how many of these Elterguard Rangers we play, so I'll take those out. I don't know if Swarming Goblins we want necessarily. Bullet we don't want because we can't reliably get the thing on it. Yeah. Spoils is good. Hunter's Mark is good. I think... So just take out all the kind of medium cards. This is nice because it's going to draw us some cards later in the game, or mass pump our team. I don't know if Hoarding Ogre is something we necessarily want. Okay, so these are the cards I'm excited to play. We have 14 of them, which is a little low, but we're going to add some cards back in. We have 9 cards we need to add in. We want to end up with like around 15 or 16 creatures, given that we're a creaturey deck. So at least 6 or 7 more creatures, preferably lower on the curve so we can be more aggressive. And then maybe some other nice spells as well. I think we should lean into the mass pump team thing, like where we have a lot of creatures in play, and then we use You Meet in a Tavern to make them all bigger, or even like these, where are the goblin cards? These pair goblin cards. If we have enough cards in play, we can use the charge them mode to give everything +2/+0 and win. So I think I'm going to try and make as many goblins as I can. That's going to be the point of this deck. So we're going to start with the 2 goblin cards, which I'm considering creatures. I mean, these are instants, but I basically consider those to be creature cards. So that's 2 of the 7 creatures I wanted to add in. I guess Swarming Goblins is good for that reason too. Like, most of the time you're going to get at least 2 goblins off this. And then, so maybe turn 5 you play this, turn 6 you pump everything up. So I think this is going to be a decent 5-drop, and we don't have that much top end right now. Because we're going to lean into the go wide plan, I'm going to put those in. I feel like this card is decent, and it does give us 2 creatures. for, you know, spreading out our extra attack power from this kind of card. But this seems like it's probably more of a defensive card. Like a 4/1 reach, you aren't attacking and having it survive that often. So that side kind of seems like it's more defensive. If we had more ways to trigger pack tactics or more payoffs, I could see this because it gives you 6 power right away. But giving this thing, like, I don't know. Are we giving everything +1/+0? I guess this does kind of like feed into our strategy as well. This just gets first strike. Yeah, so I could see putting one of those in. I think Circle of the Moon Druid is going to be good. It's a good defensive card, and it can attack as a 4/2, give us some extra power. It's a 3-drop. That's decent. I think that's enough stuff to say that's probably worth playing. I'm a little bit loath to play like these 1-powered creatures because we want to be attacking a lot and be aggressive, and playing a 2-drop with 1 power doesn't lead to an aggressive game. This obviously blocks really well and kills anything they attack you with. But okay, yeah, no worries, Patty Laddie. We'll see you in a little bit. Hope to see you soon. Hopefully we're still playing when you come back. Okay, so that's the case there. Rust Monster is pretty good on attacks and defense. Do we have ways to generate treasures? I guess Barbarian kind of creates a treasure sometimes. This kind of incentivizes you to have random treasures around. I think this card's always good, but it's better if you have treasures. So I don't know if Rust Monster's getting in, but if we play these improvised weaponry cards, we're going to have random treasures to use. So that might be worth thinking about as well. We still want to add at least 3 more creatures, again, counting these pairs of goblins as creatures. And we want to be lower on the scale. Our equipment isn't great. I don't think it's worth playing equipment just to make these. Like, playing a bad equipment to make these bad 2-drops slightly better doesn't seem that good. So the cards I really like, or I'm thinking about playing here, are like more 2-drops. Probably Underdark Basilisk is good enough just because of the Death Touch ability. These improvised weaponries are probably good. That gets us to about 14 creatures. We have 2 more cards to put in, so we probably want to put more creatures in. Maybe one of these Elterguard Rangers to have more creatures in play. I don't think the Hoarding Ogre is going to be something we want. And then because our curve is pretty high, we probably just put a 2-mana card in, right? Well, Rust Monster is good. 1, 2, 3 ways to make treasures. But we already have other ways to use the treasures. Yeah, I think I'll probably just put a 2-mana card in to keep the curve low. And that seems decent to me. What are we leaving behind? We're leaving out Rust Monster. Is that just bad? Like, is Rust Monster just better than... it can't be better than the Bugbear. Maybe Rust Monster's better than this Moon Druid. Or better than one of the improvised weaponries. Gonna have to wait and see about that one. Yeah. I think we're gonna start with this and then maybe make little adjustments as we go. So what are we going to do for mana? Our mana colors are pretty much even. We have more red cards to play early. Oh, many more. So we definitely want 9 sources of red. Den of the Bugbear is going to be one of them. I'm going to add the D&D ones. Pedro, where are you coming from? Tell me about yourself. So I think that's what we're going to go with to start with. I could see taking out some of these improvised weaponry cards and putting in like a Rust Monster or something, but I want to start with this deck and see how we do. And we're going to try and be very aggressive. We're not doing any venturing in the dungeon. No venturing allowed. Stay out of the dungeon. That's where bad things happen to people. So we won't be doing that. We're going to try and do the pack tactics thing a little bit. And we want to play as many creatures as we can. Go wide, smash in for a bunch of damage. And this seems decent. We have a nice 2-drop, nice 3-drop. Kind of an okay removal spell, a decent removal spell, and this utility land. So yeah, this seems about as good as we could possibly ask for a starting hand. Opponent with the Boots of Speed, hey? What does this do? If you control 2 or more other lands, comes into the battlefield tapped. Well, we might as well just play this card then. It's basically going to be a mountain, but then on some turns, we'll be able to make a 3/2 out of it. And it can make 1/1s on its own as well. Okay, opponent with a red-white equipment deck. Okay, wow. Well, they're going to attack with a 4/1. I don't think it's worth blocking because we're going to be able to play these goblins next turn and block, so no blocks from me. It is like a little bit suspicious for us to pass with 3 mana up, so maybe we're supposed to play Valor Singer so that this can be a 3/2. Next turn it can attack as a 6/4. If we tap 4 mana, that's pretty good. Yeah. I think we'll just play the Valor Singer here. And no attacks. Although our deck is aggressive, I think we are the slower deck today. Or at least in this matchup. I think we need to be a little bit more defensive. And we might end up blocking. Like, I might use this Valor Singer to block Captain. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Now they're going to get first strike on the Hobgoblin Captain. So I'm kind of glad we didn't hold up the pair of goblins. Now we can't block, so no blocks for us. So we are definitely getting beat down. I assume we're supposed to use improvised weaponry this turn to kill their 3/1. Get some of their power and toughness off the board. And that would leave us... So we do this, we get a treasure, and then that leaves Dragon's Fire up as well, which is pretty nice. Does this do anything? Deals damage equal to its power, so we could shoot something with it. Yeah, I think we probably use the improvised weaponry. Kill their 3/1. And then we leave the Dragon's Fire up if they do something funky. And their creature's going to be a 4/3 on attacks. So I think we probably just attack, because we're not blocking with our 2/3 right now. Maybe if they spend a bunch of mana to equip this, we can get them with the Dragon's Fire. Right? That's what this does. 3 damage to target creature. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Oh, another Valor Singer. Hasty boy. Sure. Oh, wow. They should spread out the triggers here. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do. But maybe if they just played too quickly, they would have loaded one of them up. But seems totally fine. And they're out of cards, and we actually have a good number of cards here. So I'm not that concerned about what's going to happen at this point. I think what we do is we attack with this as a 3/3 and then use spoils to kill theirs. This turn, that seems like the best plan. It is a bit scary because any creature they draw can have haste. for 1 mana. So anything they draw has haste. They could easily kill us this turn with a Hoarding Ogre. Not quite. They can only deal 4. Oh, nat 20. Nice job, opponent. Natural 20. Owlbear would be good. And then I think we probably don't attack. Our Owlbear can trade for Ogre. Because I think playing the 2 goblins... See, the problem is, like, I would like to keep pressuring them, but if I attack with this and they draw a removal spell for Owlbear, we just die. That's one of the reasons why having the 2 goblins would be nice, but I do think drawing an extra card is better. So I think we probably just go a little bit defensive right now. And I think we're supposed to do no attacks, just in case they draw something to kill one of these, or to pump their creature up and we want to double block or something. And then next turn we can attack because we'll have the pair of goblins as a backup. Or I guess this Elter Guard Ranger. So yeah, I probably attack with both here. We have enough ways to generate like multiple creatures. I think this is going to be okay. And then now we're threatening lethal if they try to attack us. So assuming they don't have 2 removal spells this turn, I kind of like our chances here. But they could easily just ping both of these. Okay, right on. So being a little bit patient there, that 1 turn paid off, I think. Or a couple turns there. And that is one thing about Magic is like you might build a very aggressive creature-focused deck. And then your opponent has an even more aggressive, more creature-y focused deck. And in those situations, you have to realize that you are actually the slow deck. You need to be more conservative and block more, even though you thought you were an aggressive deck. So that happens a lot. And it switches, right? There was an inflection point in our game where it's like, okay, now it's our turn to attack. And then they did some stuff. It's like, okay, now we got to block. And it's this nice interplay back and forth that makes Magic exciting. So this hand's okay. Any land gets us a 3-drop, and we have some top end stuff. Basilisk can block nice early and kill something, so totally fine here. Hoping to draw another mountain, but you never know. Okay, well, now that we have another 2-drop, this one attacks better than the Basilisk, so we'll do that. I would rather hit for 2 damage if they play nothing than 1. And this is much more of a defensive creature, so... Okay, well, that's a little bit sad, but we'll offer the trade here. Yeah, I think so. Happy to trade a 2/2 for a 3/2. And if not, we can block this with our Basilisk, so... Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That is pretty good for them. Maybe that's a reason not to have attacked last turn. Especially if we're short on lands, like, I guess we don't want our opponent to get too far ahead on resources, and now they're doing treasures and all kinds of stuff, so... Well, we did get another land. That's awesome. If we get a treasure off of this and draw land, we can play Ranger next turn, which is pretty good. 2/2 on this board is also a decent blocker, like it just trades for anything. What are the odds of them having a really good artifact? I guess Pair of Goblins is also decent as a blocker. So I think I'll probably just... Well, they're going to have Pack Tactics. This is going to have First Strike, and I don't want to block with this anyway. That's something worth noting. So maybe I just play the Barbarian. Barbarian and Valor Singer both trade for the 3/2. But this one gets me a treasure token, which can help me cast my other spells sooner. Even if we don't use the treasure token... And I'm probably not blocking with this card, because this will have First Strike, and this is going to block here. So I might as well attack here. Even if we don't use this next turn to play Ranger, like maybe we draw a couple lands and it gets us this Herd Gorger sooner. 7/6 gain 3 life is going to help stabilize. So. The reason I attack there is because if they attack with both of theirs, this is going to have first strike, and I don't really want to block anyway. And I already have one blocker for the 3/2. I mean, there's a world where they play improvised weaponry, kill this, attack with both, get us draw a card, and then like we're really losing, but this is fine. That's a good trade for us. Then they have a 3/3 flyer, which will definitely need to be killed, but if we draw land, we can play Ranger, which blocks flyer really nicely. And there we go. I think, given that, we'll just play the Ranger out. And then we're actually threatening a lot of damage here. If they don't attack or something, like this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like this is almost lethal damage if we activate Targnar and attack with everything. Like the opponent has to block some stuff. Could actually be pretty good for us. Ooh, what does this do? Goblins get +1/+1, deals damage equal to the number of goblins that entered battlefield this turn to any target. Huh. Oh, that card seems sweet. Now this is a 5/2 with first strike. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think we just have to take the 5 damage here. Block their flyer. It'd be nice to draw a couple lands to play the Herd Gorger and gain a bit of life, because this first striking Goblin's going to be a bit annoying over time, but we can't really do it this turn. These cards are kind of... Well, I guess we'd have to double block, which is kind of okay. I guess I'll play the 3/3. It's better than a 2/3 on this board. And there might be a world here where we have to double block the 4/2. Oh, Blue Dragon. That's probably the worst card for us. Now everything's going to have no power, so that's really good for the opponent. Now I really want to draw a land next turn just to get some more life. And we probably have to chump block this. Yeah, I mean, like, this blocks here, fine. This chump blocks, we take 3. We can survive a hit from this. Really want to draw land here. I think the Herd Gorger is probably the only way we can stabilize. Because now we're going to take 5 in the air. We have to block at least one other thing. So we're playing a 2-drop and a 3-drop this turn. And if we're on the chump block plan, we're going to play the goblins. So guess we do this. And we are definitely in trouble. I don't know if we have that many ways to deal with the Blue Dragon here. We need one of our bite cards. Yep, swings with all. We're going to make goblins. We're going to chump block the 4/2. And try and trade off for the Singer. So use the 3/1 to do that. And actually, we might as well double block Hobgoblin Captain, right? They can kill this. That kills that. Yeah, I think maybe that's what we're supposed to do. So maybe we should have played Valor Singer last turn. I'm not sure, but If they have any kind of combat trick or anything, we lose pretty bad here, but we're definitely behind as it is. Even the Herd Gorger now doesn't help us, yeah. Because we're going to gain 4 life, and then this is a 5/5. So we're definitely done. But we're not going to concede. Sometimes when you don't concede, your opponent thinks you have something and they play differently, or it's more exciting for the opponent to win if you don't concede as well. So Dan Bat is going to feel really good about attacking us to win rather than us just giving up. And yeah, let's keep motoring on here. That blue dragon play was devastating for us. I think we had just stabilized with creatures, but then of course they shrunk everything down so we couldn't get good trades, and yeah, it was a bit tough. Two-drop removal spell, something big to do. Yeah, let's keep this. And yeah, we might even get an opportunity to use Den of the Bugbear at some point. Ooh, Wizard's class is decent. I'm going to play the 3/1 here. It's just going to deal more damage than the 2/2. If they don't play a creature, it punishes them more. So we'll play the more powerful card right now, like the one that has more power. Yeah, if this ever gets to 5 and your opponent has creatures in play, that's really scary. Oh, nice. Okay, well, now we get to attack our opponent for 3. And next turn, we could almost trigger Pack Tactics, right? Like, tap 4 mana, make this a 4/4, attack, this as first strike, and they all get +1/+0. That's probably what we're going to do, right? Like, that's the opponent doesn't play a creature here. Oh man, draw 2. Okay, that's awesome. We're gonna smash our opponent for a bunch of damage here. This costs 4 to activate, right? Okay, so first things first, let's double this boy's power. Attack, trigger Pack Tactics, smash for 9. Seems pretty good. Next turn we have Owlbear, or if they play an X2, we can kill it with Improvised Weaponry. So drawing cards is nice, but if you don't have creatures to defend with, that's bad for you. Here... Opponent has a bunch of mana up. I think we probably just attack them, right? And then play Owlbear. I mean, they don't have that many outs here. I would rather just be maybe more conservative. I don't want to put all my mana into these cards and then get blown out by them, so I'm just gonna deal the damage and then draw a card. What I'm worried about is paying 4 mana to double this creature's power and then they kill it and we only deal 3 and we lose our whole turn. I think having more creatures in play is going to be better. And now we naturally trigger Pack Tactics, so I don't have to spend the mana ahead of time. This creature also has Trample. It's going to get pumped up by Targnar. Like, that's pretty good. We also have the Pair of Goblins card. We can make everything a little bit bigger as well. So I hope they don't have some crazy 5 mana card that wrecks us for being too conservative there. But they're kind of dead, right? Like, this is lethal, this is lethal, this can get pumped up to be lethal. So if they don't do anything this turn, we'll have 3 lethal attackers. Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it. And that's not going to do it. Four, 3 haste, venture into the dungeon. Gain a life. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. Because we can go weaponry here, take out a blocker, attack with pack tactics, and then if we really need to do something else, we could pump the whole team. So, okay, well, that was a nice aggressive game for us. That looked really good. Our opponent didn't really play anything until turn 5, so I wouldn't say, like, yeah, our deck is so good because of that. I would just say that we got kind of lucky and we had creatures and they didn't. But still happy for the win, of course. Like, don't get me wrong. And yeah, let's see what we can do in the next game here. I would say so far the pack tactics is like the most boring ability. It's cool, like you get sweet plays with it, but you're really just attacking with creatures, which is what you want to do anyway. It's not super intricate, like trying to get the ventures or do the treasure thing. But I'm not going to be upset with turning creatures sideways. And this is great. We have this 2/2 into our goblins, into maybe Inspiring Bard, which can trigger pack tactics on the goblins. Yeah, this seems pretty good to me. 2/3 Shepherd. I don't think I'm supposed to attack here. I think I probably just pass the turn. There is some thought to bluffing, but I don't really want them to block, and then we just get owned, so. We're going to end of turn play pair of goblins. Yeah. Okay, Charm Sleep. Gain 2 life. Nice. Oh, and that card is Vigilance. Yeah, that's decent. Let's get a couple 1/1s. I think this still triggers even if... Oh no, this one does have to attack, doesn't it? Okay. Well, we've got 4 mana and something that costs 4 mana. So I think we'll pump up one of the goblins and attack here. Don't really care about the 3 life that much. And I assume they don't block. We have a good blocker for their card. Next turn, I think we'll probably play Swarming Goblins, try and get as much power and toughness into play as possible, or as many creatures into play as we possibly can. And then maybe we'll draw one of our mass pump spells. Yeah, there's nothing that we can really do. I guess we could use this to kill that and then attack for 5, but I would rather just have the extra goblins in play, so I'll start by attacking with the 3/3. I think our opponent's probably going to activate Wizard's class next turn, or they could anyway, which is really bad, and that's a reason to try and get rid of their creatures, but we are a go wide deck, so come on, come on, come on, come on! Okay. Well, 1 extra goblin's better than nothing, I guess, so. Would have been nice to hit at least 2, like, come on, but not going to complain too much about that. All right, well, Owlbear is a nice target for spoils. Ooh, double spoils. Deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Like here to here. I think we probably just want to play Owlbear. So I'm going to attack with the Swarm first and offer the trade with their 4/4. Yeah, that's fine. I can save these spoils for something else. And now I'll play an even better creature, draw a card, and see where we end up. Now our Bard can attack, Owlbear can attack. 4/5 Ward 3, that's kind of annoying. Because our spoils are much worse now. But we can still play it, right? This is Ward 3, so we can use spoils to deal... Ooh, we can't deal enough damage. Huh. Well, this is a turn where we're probably more defensive, and we play the 7/6, and then next turn we can use spoils from the 7/6 to kill the 4/5 and attack with our other cards. So Probably pumping the brakes a bit. I mean, we're playing a creature battle, and we have 3 removal spells in hand. I'm pretty happy with our position. Assuming they don't do some insane card. Like, Blue Dragon is bad here. Yeah, Charm Sleep is fine, actually. I mean, I would rather they didn't play it, but Spoils is good still off Charmed Sleep, so... Actually, Spoils with Underdark Basilisk is also good. But I want to get rid of the 4/5 this turn and attack with Owlbear plus Inspiring Bard. And this is Ward 3, and we have 6 mana. So that seems good to me. Our creature deals power to their creature. Yes, I'm sure. And we resolve the ability. And yes, we're going to pay. And I don't mind attacking here, because if they double block Owlbear, it still kind of clears the way for our other cards. Yeah, this is fine. Get rid of their life gain vigilance card. I mean, it feels bad, like, and that is the value of having ward, is that we couldn't double spell last turn, but I think this is still going to be better overall. Maybe we were just supposed to attack with Bard last turn. That might have been better. Oh, nice. Well, Spoils can get rid of Herd Gorger, so that's pretty good. And then we can use the Dragonfire on the Knoll Hunter. That's pretty good too. And swing away, Bobby. Opponent with multiple cards in hand, so they could play anything, but okay. Yeah, I mean, our opponent has a nice creaturey deck, and their creatures are going to get bigger over time, so definitely attack with both of ours this turn. I'm happy to trade Basilisk for anything, because our life total isn't threatened right now, and their creatures are just going to get bigger, so I don't mind this. Yeah. Keep pressuring their life total. Froghemoth. I think this card's pretty good, right? 5 mana 4/4 trample haste. Exile cards from their graveyard, put counters on it, gain life. Oh my gosh. This card's insane. Do we have 4 creatures? 1, 2, 3. Oof. And they're going to gain a bunch of life. That card's insane. I can definitely see this card killing us. Man, we used so many removal spells. They had just a ton of creatures. Now they're up to 9. Yeah, that's not looking good for us. But we'll just play some extra cards, I guess. And they get to do that every turn. But they can only get so many creatures off of that, right? So. And we have nothing that can attack here. So we'll just pass the turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, we have lethal, so they have to be a little bit careful about attacking. I guess they can gain another 2 life. So if they attack with everything, go to 11, we take it and we kill them. So they can't attack with everything. They have to be a little bit conservative themselves. All right, well, Owlbear's good. Like an 8/8. Windseer. Ooh, that's kind of tough, because I want to save the reach creature for the Windseer, but I also want to kill this Froghemoth. So we'll see what they attack with. I don't know if we're supposed to trade off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we draw a goblin thing, we can get in for 6 damage, which doesn't do it. We do have cards that could... Oh man, this isn't even good enough to kill something. We do have cards that could help us a lot. I really want the You Meet in a Tavern card right now. That card would be excellent. Well, there's not really much we can do here, so I'm just going to pass the turn. Yeah, I imagine they're going to pump this up so it's not within the Wind Ranger range thing. Oh, and they can activate this. Wow. Right? Anytime they want, they can draw a card. Oh, but if they roll a 10 to 20, they don't actually draw. And this thing's going to be enough of a problem anyway. So do we want to take the 50% chance that they don't draw a card? Oh, man. There's a 50% chance we can trade and a 50% chance we lose. Either way, we save a bit of damage. This card isn't really blocking Froghemoth that well. Yeah, I think we kind of have to do this, right? And hope that they roll high. No! Alright, well, we got wrecked, but... I mean, I don't think we are really winning this game anyway. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, if they roll a 10 to 20 there, they don't actually technically draw the card, so this would only be a 4/4, and that would have been good. But obviously that didn't work out, so we're definitely behind. And drawing all of these lands is definitely not helping either, so. Dying a slow death. And now they definitely have, like, enough, right? Like, they should just attack with everything, right? 14? Sure. Let's take it. My only hope is to draw +2/+2 to everything. And then we hit them for 9. But they're going to gain a bit of life here. Yeah. I guess we're not... yeah, we're done. But like always, we are not going to concede. We are going to let our opponent defeat us the old-fashioned way. Man, we used so many removal spells this game, and they just kept coming with their creatures. And really good creatures, too. Like, this Genie Windseer is good, Owlbear is good, Froghemoth is insane. I think the Null Hunters are nice. The Ward creature, that was a rough turn for us. Them playing the Ward creature, because we couldn't double spell and kill multiple things, so... yeah, getting beat down here. But, hey, your opponent is allowed to win games as well, as I always say. At least half the time. Hopefully it's less than half, but if my opponents win half the games I play, that makes the game still worth playing, so... Is there anything we want to change about our deck? I mean, before the last game here? Yeah, Patty Laddie, I'm with you on that. I did not expect the super creature-heavy green-blue deck. But it seemed to work out well, and, like, Wizard's class is really good. So, is there stuff we want to add? Like, I feel like the first strike mechanic here is really good, but only if you have artifacts to sacrifice. I don't think the Ranger's Longbow I want. It doesn't even make your creatures block that well, right? Like, you put this on a creature so you can block flyers, and it only gets +1 toughness. The Herd Gorger is a nice way to stabilize. Like, maybe you're supposed to play another one of those, but I don't really want to be that expensive. Has Circle of the Moon Druid ever seemed like it was going to be a good card? It works pretty well with spoils, so probably. My thought is that Rust Monster is probably better than something in here. Army Veteran just seems really bad for us, right? It's just, we're only playing it because it's a 2-mana card. Put the boots in? What are the boots gonna do, Patty Laddie? Like, +1/+0 just seems kind of bad. Druid is good for pack tactics, yeah. So I do think it's worth keeping in. I think Rust Monster's good, though. We should probably play the Rust Monster. Is that better than one of these Valor Singers? And if we play Rust Monster, do we want Hoarding Ogre as well? Seems, I don't know. I don't want to put too many like awful cards in the deck. Just for haste, yeah. I mean, I guess if you play like what? They attack you, then you play this, and you attack with a 5/1 haste. That's not bad. I think I might take out a Valor Singer and put in a Rust Monster. I don't know if that's actually going to be good, but I do think this is a nice card, especially if you're being defensive some amount of the time, which our deck doesn't want to do, but I'm going to try that out. All right, well, maybe this is the game we'll get to activate Den of the Bugbear. Oh, this is not a great hand, hey? Like, we don't have any creatures until turn 5 if we draw green mana. This is the only card we could play. Yeah, we gotta mulligan this, right? Even this is better. Get rid of these goblins, and I would rather have 3 drops than no creatures until turn 5. So we probably start with Circle of the Moon Druid, just again for the same reason, it attacks the best. Unless they play a 2-power creature, which they probably should. Oh, okay, Thieves' Tools, yeah. Well, we'll play the biggest beater we have. And if they play some dorky little creature that Thieves' Tools is supposed to go on, maybe we can get in for some damage. Okay, well, Hoarding Ogre is pretty good. This blocks Hoarding Ogre pretty well, but they still get the treasures, so I actually don't mind trading here. And I'm going to play, I think, Valor Singer this turn regardless. So I might as well play it now and make this a 5/2. I wouldn't mind drawing a couple cards off of this, but right now it doesn't really help us because we have stuff to play. So we might as well play the things that are actually in our hand already. Boom. Oh, I guess they could make their creature unblockable anyway. So it's good that we didn't hold this back on defense. They're just going to make 1,000,000 treasure tokens with this. That's crazy. I'm scared and excited to see what they play. But, I mean, if their turn is to equip this and attack Zorn. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. They're going to have 1,000,000 treasures. Like, they can make it unblockable as well. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. We can destroy their equipment. I assume we just attack with both here and try to be very aggressive. Spread out the power and toughness, so they have to pick which one to block. And I assume they don't want to trade with Zorn. They probably want to make 1,000,000 treasures with this. I mean, they do have to be worried about dying. Okay, well, that's fine, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Now we can kill their equipment. And Zorn can't attack because this blocks, so they can only really attack with Hoarding Ogre. They could get up to 6 treasures in a turn, though. That's insane. With this combo. That's really cool. Nice. Now we probably do... Actually, if we play pair of goblins, then give everything +2/+2, does that kill them? If we attack with both of these next turn, they take 5. And then the next turn we attack with everything. 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a must block. So maybe we play this and gain 3 life. Are we supposed to give this +2/+2 so it can attack through the rust monster? Although, oh shoot, yeah, I guess we can't attack because they would just give this first strike now. Yeah, I think we just play a bunch of creatures if we can. Man, the amount of treasure that they're going to have, that rust monster, is going to be insane. Like, this thing on its own could kill us if we don't block it. So we're going to have to block it with the Plundering Barbarian this turn. Because they can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, okay. I guess they couldn't necessarily kill us this turn. Oh! Nat 20. Nice. Look at this. Wow. So 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16. Okay, well, the Rust Monster can't kill us on its own, but we do have to block it, right? Like, there's no way we can't. Is there a way for us to win? Like, if we chump block this, this is what we have left in play. We attack with both. We deal 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it's not quite enough. So I think we do have to... Do we just take the damage from the Rust Monster? Is that silly? I do want to double block this. Regardless. Maybe we're just supposed... Sorry, we're just supposed to single block it. Do I just take this damage? Do I take 16? 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 14, 15, 16. And if they have anything else, we lose. But I kind of need creatures in play or else we lose anyway. I'm just going to take it. I think... Oh, no, I should block. We have enough removal spells in our deck. It's probably better to block there, but... Now they kind of have to be worried about what we have for one mountain that kills them, but... Yeah, we probably should have blocked there. We can buy ourselves a couple of turns with the goblins. Drider, yeah. Well, opponent's deck is good. Another Hoarding Ogre. Alright, well, opponent's deck definitely good. And we're going to play Army Veteran plus Pair of Goblins this turn. And our options for surviving are vastly diminished. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, if they didn't get the Drider trigger, we could have won. But not anymore, so might as well do this. It's a little anticlimactic. I realized that it looks like the video bitrate is getting a little low. I apologize for that. Don't really know how to fix it. I'd probably just get a better computer is the secret. So. It seems like it hasn't recovered in the last like 40 minutes, which is sad. Usually if the video dips, it comes back right away, but well, 2 and 3. I don't think our deck was that great. So 2 and 3 is probably about right for this deck. Happy to not go 0 and 3. Yeah, their deck was very solid, Patty. That's right. The black-red treasure deck with the Zorn and stuff. It's a little laggy. Okay, thanks, Adam. Good to know. Anyway, this is what we finished up with. And yeah, I mean, this deck wasn't super synergistic. I think, what could we have used? Just some better 2-mana cards, I think. I don't think we were as aggressive as we should have been with our creatures and stuff. So we never got to activate Den of the Bugbear. I'm kind of sad, but that'll happen. Yeah, I would say red-green is probably one of the weaker color pairs by the looks of it. Having only played it once and this being my second draft, I would say just kind of random creature-y things doesn't seem that great. So just, yeah, mental note there. And other than that, I am enjoying the set. I like the flavor of the D&D stuff. So I think we're going to keep playing. I mean, I certainly want to keep playing. And we need to redeem ourselves from this 2-3. So let's draft again. It's gonna be a double feature today. Double header? Double feature? I don't know, something like that. I wouldn't mind doing some sealed as well. I do enjoy sealed. I think I'm gonna do a draft right now, but maybe tomorrow morning's a good time to do some sealed. And I'm hoping that they do another Arena Open, the sort of bigger prize pool public sealed event. That's why I'm not using my gold to draft. I want to save my gold for the Arena Opens, because you actually get quite a bit of a discount if you buy into those with gold. It's like 20,000 gold or 4,500 gems, which isn't equivalent. Like, I think the gold price is much cheaper. So yeah, let's jump in. Let's do another draft here. I'm gonna try and redeem myself from that last one there, but even a 2-3 is not awful. I mean, trying out different decks, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. That treasure deck was sweet though. That was a pleasure to lose to, just because it was so good. All right, well, again, Wish isn't that great of a card. Wizard's Class, I think this card is really good. Every time I've seen this played, like, at the very least, you draw 2 cards. And if you can ever level it up, like, your creatures get so good, right? I don't think this 2-drop is that amazing. Obviously, if you're in green-white, you're going to play it. But I don't think it's, like, that worth starting. Priest of Ancient Lore seems like a decent 3-drop in a white deck, but not worth first picking. I think Baleful Beholder is fine to have one of in an aggressive black deck. Spoils of the Hunt, again, decent bite card, but I think Wizard's class definitely has the highest upside here. So we're going to take that. And if you're in any blue deck, I think it's okay. It's obviously better if you have creatures and other ways to draw cards, like if you have some card draw spells. But happy to take this. I think this Air Cult Elemental is decent. You just bounce something and you have a 2/5 flyer, which blocks well and attacks a bit. So anyway, we're going to take the Wizards class and see. Maybe we end up in a blue deck here. White Dragon's good. 6 mana 4/4, tap something down for a turn. 2 mana 2/1 that has Death Touch when it attacks is okay. It's really only good if it has First Strike, I think. This card is whatever. Counter a creature, venture in the dungeon. Meh. Ooh, Dragon's Fire. I do like Dragon's Fire. And that's the best card here. I'm definitely going to take Dragon's Fire here. I would consider the White Dragon. It's kind of expensive. I do think this card's good, but we're going to take the cheap removal spell. And maybe we end up in some kind of blue-red dice rolling deck. That's what the blue-red themes are. Or maybe we end up in something completely different, but definitely going to take the Dragon's Fire here. I still don't think the artifact thing is that good. Bugbear was fine. 3 mana 3/3, whatever. Veteran Dungeoneer is really good. Like, 4 toughness is good. 3 attack is good. And you get to venture, which is what the white decks want to do most of the time. But if we're going to try and do the red-blue thing, Pixie Guide is awesome. Like, you get advantage on all the rolls you make. And blue-red is the dice rolling deck. It also wears counters from Wizards class well. Maybe we'll wheel one of the Hoarding Ogres. Yeah, I think the best cards here are Veteran Dungeoneer and Pixie Guide. And Pixie Guide's a little bit cheaper, and it goes with the cards we already picked. So I'm going to take that one here and see what we can end up doing. Everything else is just kind of like mediocre. Well, there's good green cards in this pack. Owlbear's really good. Knoll Hunter, 2 mana 2/2 that can get counters with Pack Tactics. I think this is the Pack Tactics card you want as a 2-drop. Hoarding Ogre is fine in a dice rolling deck, but it like dies right away. Clever Conjurer, untap a permanent. I don't know what we would necessarily untap. I guess it kind of just untaps a land. It's not bad. So I think my picks are between staying on color with blue or taking the Owlbear, which is a nice card. I mean, blue-green could be an okay color pair as well. I think I'd rather start with the higher power level card, the higher upside, and see if maybe green's open. I'm not going to miss the Conjurer that much. Well, here's another Pixie. That's kind of nice. Now that we have 2, that's pretty good for the die rolling deck, and maybe we should just go straight into blue-red. Minimus Containment, also awesome. I think this card is great. Like, been seeing a lot of them come around, but this card's really good. So a couple of white cards. Bard is fine. I think it played out pretty well in our last deck. This is a die rolling card, so we might want to wheel that, but I think that the chance of having double Pixie in a blue-red deck is just too good to pass up here. I really like Minimus Containment, but we could live the dream on Pixies and wheel some of these die rolling cards. Let's see what happens. Again, really good with Wizards class as well. And now we see a Charm Sleep, which is a nice blue removal spell. So, I mean, it's an okay blue removal spell, so we're going to take it here. We are seeing a bit of white, though, so maybe we're supposed to be in a blue-white deck, which is like kind of an adventure-y deck, but we'll take the blue card here and see what's coming around. Yeah, probably just take the Gloomstalker now. We are seeing a bit of white. Blue-white is an adventures deck, so... or a venture deck, So if you complete a dungeon, Gloomstalker gets much better. And I think that's better than anything else here. I don't know if I really want to be in white. I would rather be in red-blue because of these pixie guides, but you have to take what comes to you. So half-elf monk seems fine, and I'm sure Gloomstalker is fine in the blue-white deck. Probably just take the cheaper card and the one that fits more with the overall strategy of blue-white. Although we might not even be in blue, right? Like, we could be in anything. But the fact that there's still white cards here means that white's probably open. This is the pack we started with, and here's an okay white card. I mean, 2 mana 3/1 is just whatever, but none of these other cards are super exciting right now. So looks like white's kind of open. Now I kind of wish we had taken the Minimus Containment instead of that second Pixie, because we hadn't really seen a ton of red, and it was probably more open, but we speculated a bit, and that's totally fine. None of these cards look super exciting. There is a world where we end up in like a black-white deck, maybe. So I'll take the Ogre. I don't think we're playing any of these other cards. The only thing we're pretty confident that we're in is white at this point. That's the only color we're really seeing. Shambling Gas is a nice black card. Hexblade is good in the black-red deck, I imagine. But I'll just keep taking white cards. And here's a colorless removal spell that we hope not to play. I guess there's a world where we're white-green, though. And repeated life gain is pretty good. So I don't think we're going to be in white-green, but just in case, I'm going to take the repeatable source of life gain. None of these seem good to me. Yeah. Okay, well, this pack was not good for us, but I think white is open, and we'll just see where we can end up with it. Yeah, if we wanted to stick to blue, this eccentric, not east. I don't think it's eccentric. I think it's eccentric apprentice is good. It ventures into the dungeon, which is what blue-white's trying to do. There's a purple worm if we wanted to be on the green side, although I think this isn't like necessarily a green-white card you want to play. Here's the Hobgoblin Bandit Lord, but we saw no red in pack 1, so we're not going to be in red. I think the best card we could take is Eccentric Apprentice. I mean, 3 mana 2/2 flying's already good. You go into the dungeon, and then every now and again you get some kind of weird bird effect. So I think we're going to take this here. And maybe salvage our blue deck and be some kind of blue-white thing. If there was a really good green card here, I would have taken that and maybe gone the white-green life gain, but we didn't see it. Beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 black skeleton, and they get plus X+0 and they have to attack every turn. That card seems decent in black-green. I don't know how good that is. Hunter's Mark is a good green card. Celestial Unicorn is good in the white-green deck. I don't think we're in red. Charmed Sleep would be a safe blue card to take, and we already have a couple good blue cards. I think I'm probably just going to take the Charmed Sleep. Yeah, I don't... Oh, man, we didn't really see enough evidence that green-white would be open, so I think we just go, based on what we have, try and do the Venture blue-white deck. And this is just going to be a fine removal spell, so... Grazilax, 3/2. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Okay. When a creature you control deals damage to a player, draw a card. That seems sweet. That's actually not awful if we have a couple cheap flyers. Ooh, no. This card is awesome if you roll dice, but we're pretty far away from the die rolling deck. This is like a worse version of this, so I think we just oh, Veteran and Dungeoneer is good. Maybe we'll get that on the wheel. So I think we just do the responsible thing, stay in blue. This card would be sweet if we ended up in blue-red, but we saw no red in pack 1, and I don't think it's open. So we'll take the blue card. We have mostly blue cards. Blue has flyers. Flyers work well with Grazilax. Mind Flare. Gain control of target creature for as long as you control Mind Flayer. That seems pretty good. Kind of happy to see that card. Yeah. Dominate monster. This card looks sweet. And maybe that increases the value of some of the cards that like protect your creatures, like give you hexproof or something. If we see any of them. Also a Pegasus we could get later on. But yeah, definitely in for Mind Flayer here. That's awesome. Now we have 2 Illithids. We're going Illithid Tribal this draft. And I definitely think it's worth being in blue. Fly, enchanted creature, has flying and ventures when it deals damage. That could be okay. Shortcut Seeker deals damage adventures, but it's kind of expensive. Power of Persuasion. Bounce something. Silver Raven. Yeah, I think I'll just take this fly card. Like, it doesn't improve power or toughness, but if we end up playing white-blue and we want to venture a lot, that could be pretty good. And we are already looking for cards that maybe protect our creatures because of Mind Flayer. So if we end up playing some, like, give your creature hexproof cards, we don't mind playing fly. Here we'll take the Air Cult Elemental just as a big creature to play later and bounce something. I think Morningstar is okay. Sometimes it's a 2/1 trample, sometimes it just makes a 1/1. Dawnbringer Cleric is probably fine as well. Just a good 2-drop that... Oh, sorry, we're not in red. Oh, duh. Yeah, we'll take the Dawnbringer Cleric. For some reason, I had the... Well, I mean, technically, we could be in red. If that blue-red multicolored card wheels, maybe we're just supposed to take it and try and force red. This card's probably good enough. We can make it so that some of our like utility cards or like this eccentric thing or something can't be blocked. Yeah, looks like we're in... well, maybe we're just in mono blue. Take a counter spell. Ooh. Grim Bounty, hey? No, I think maybe we just stay in blue, and if we get some crazy rare in pack 3, we might be mono blue, splash some crazy rare. Like, we're not even really that much of a white deck here. Take the cheap card in case there's a weird world where we play black, but I don't think we're going to. Alright, Wizard Spellbook, 7 mana. Exile a card from your graveyard. Copy it, cast the copy the card. Okay, so that's some kind of crazy instant sorcery effect thing. Seems pretty expensive. I don't even know if we have that many instants or sorceries. Trickster's Talisman is good. Maybe we are just in the die rolling deck, hey? Here's another Owlbear. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to play this Talisman. You can copy like a Cult Elemental. Copying Mind Flayer? Ooh, that'd be alright. Yeah. Skullport Merchant's fine. Contact Other Plane is not that great. So we have an okay green card. We have a good red card. We have no good black cards. We have a couple mediocre white cards. I don't know what to do here. I think I'll just take this blue card, honestly. Like, it kind of looks like we're mono blue. Well, Displacer Beast is good. Hunter's Mark is good. Windseer is nice. Windseer is a nice threat. It flies, it scries. The Pixie Guide. gives it a little bit extra value. I think Displacer Beast is just really good though, right? Venture into the dungeon and you can bounce it to your hand. So we might just be like a mono blue creature deck, which is really weird. Don't get me wrong. Well, here's another good red card. Maybe we are just a red-blue deck. Another Pixie Guide. How many things do we have that roll dice? One card. Here's another fly. I don't know if we're putting fly on anything, really. Yeah, I don't know. Weird draft. We want to be more defensive. Maybe I was supposed to take that 5-mana card. I don't think this card's very good. Another Pixie Guide. Yeah, I probably should have taken the 5-drop removal spell there. Well, maybe we're just doing the dungeon thing then, and seeing what we can do with it. Well, Precipitous Drop is good. It's a really weird draft. I feel like Split the Party is probably not that good of a card, but I don't think this card's very good. I mean, now that we have enough venture stuff, maybe we are just supposed to be white. Like, splash these Gloomstalkers that have double strike. This is such a weird draft. Like, what are people taking? We are basically mono blue here. We're playing mono blue, Wizards class. I don't think these dwarf champions are going to be that good. Although they, I guess if we play the fly card, they're good. Weird. Okay, well, let's take a look and see what a mono blue deck looks like in this set. And when I say mono blue, we're probably playing at least this Dragon's Fire, but let's go through and see what cards we have. So I think these are fine. And if we have these Clever Conjurers, they can actually help us ramp up to these elementals. Mind Flayer is going to be good. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. Choose an instant or sorcery in your graveyard, roll a 20, put it to your hand. And the Pixie Guides let us re-roll or roll higher. So what kind of spells would we get back? Contact other plane. Come to a river. Yeah, we don't even have that many instants or sorceries. So Barret Mind Sorcerer is going to be bad. I think this Grazilax is going to be fine. Apprentice is good. Displacer Beast is good. Conjurers are going to be fine. They can give us bigger spells earlier. I don't think the Pixie Guides are that good, but maybe with Wizards class they're okay because they can get 1/1 counters. They can wear this Trickster's Talisman. It's kind of like a bounce spell is fine. I don't know if you want 3 counter spells or any in this deck, but they do venture into the dungeon, so that's something we might play. I think Contact Other Plane is going to be fine, especially with the Pixie Guides. So that's kind of the base of the deck, and I think what we're trying to do is just like venture into the dungeon and win on value with our mono blue deck. So what are the best possible cards we could put in this deck? Owlbear is really good, but that would be a single green card that has double green in the cost, which is kind of hard to play. Dragon's Fire is really good, and we don't really have removal for anything. So that's a card I would be interested in playing. I don't think the black ended up being that good. Bar the Gate is fine. We do have a decent number of white cards here. Maybe we're just supposed to play these. How are we getting through the dungeon here? We have the Fly card. We have the Displacer Beast. We have Eccentric Apprentice. We don't really have anything else, hey? So I don't know how often we're getting through a dungeon for Gloomstalker to be good. Besides the Fly card. We only have one card that rolls dice, right? So I don't think this Brazen Dwarf is going to be good. Yeah, this kind of was a bit of a train wreck. But that happens, right? Is Spare Dagger good enough because we have 3 Pixie Guides? And you can make one of them a 2/3, and then sometimes throw the dagger at something. I don't know if that's going to be good enough. Maybe we're just supposed to be a controlling kind of deck. Play these Bar the Gates. A weird draft. Probably have to go back and watch this one again, because I have no idea what we were supposed to do there. But we'll play a couple of these counter spells. Would like to get just more creatures in my deck to do stuff and like make Wizard's class a bit better. So maybe we are supposed to play white, like put these in, put this in, put the Spare Dagger in to make the Dwarfold champions better. I think that means that Clever Conjurers maybe not as good. We're probably not playing the Dragonfire. Maybe we don't play Bar the Gate if we're going to be more of a creature-y deck. And so we just want, like, more creatures. I would rather play blue spells instead of white spells, because we aren't going to have that many white mana. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Seems kind of bad, right? But we're gonna try and do the best we can. I guess this Fly card makes Gloomstalker pretty good if we can get through a dungeon. This helps go into the dungeon. Maybe these Pixie Guides aren't actually that good. Clever Conjurer kind of seems kind of bad, right? And we don't really have removal, so I think we have to probably save one of these Bar the Gates, or play Bar the Gate. Yeah. Well, maybe this is just what we have to do here. Mostly blue. So we probably want to play... Well, but our low drops are white, so we probably want to play 9 blue, 8 white mana. And see if we can get some wins. By no means are we that excited about this deck, but I mean, we got creatures and stuff. Creatures and stuff. That is the name of the game in Magic. And yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, not optimistic, but hey, creatures and stuff. games have been won with less. So, see what we can do here. And we have 3 3-drops we could play. That's awesome. I don't think I want to play this right away in case they have some like incidental kill an artifact thing. Ooh, Ranger class is good. 2 mana, make a 2/2, and then there's just upside on top of that is really good. Yeah, Ranger's class is really good. Whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. Oh man, that's just so good, right? We kind of need our Gloomstalkers to get online here. Is this a game where you try and go into the oubliette? Is that the only way? How do you scroll through these, by the way? How do you see what the other dungeons look like? Is this a game where you go into the oubliette? I don't know. This is going to be a 4/4 next turn and a 5/5 the turn after. Man. Like, I feel like we're just going to get ran over by this thing. Unless we make this Death Touch creature. Discard a card, sacrifice a creature, sacrifice an artifact, and sacrifice a land. Ugh. That's probably not worth it, right? Well, maybe this is better. Well, how are we actually going through the dungeon? We don't actually have that many ways to trigger it, right? Yeah, we're probably better off just doing this. Try and scry ourselves to something good. Definitely not a land. A little bit tough. Ranger's class is a huge beating. Our best bet is to draw a bounce spell. I think we have a bounce spell in our deck that could bounce this wolf. All right, well, I guess we play Gloomstalker, and then we can double block the wolf. This feels really bad if they have any kind of trick or anything, right? But I don't think we really have anything else to do, right? It's kind of the best we can do. Like, this card on turn 2 is just insane. Okay, well, we killed the wolf. That's decent. I mean, our opponent has 6 mana. They can play absolutely anything they want, I'm sure. But now we get to double spell. That's kind of nice. And we can actually destroy their enchantment, right? Yeah, that's awesome. So nice draw there. Dawnbringer Cleric is good, just for that extra utility. Like, Being able to randomly destroy an enchantment there is really nice. Now they can attack with the 3/5, but maybe we've like slightly stopped them. Oh, Drider's good. Okay, Charm Sleep, not bad, not bad. We probably want to tap down the Drider. I think that's always going to be an issue for us. I guess we could make the Gloomstalker 3/4 so it could block the Zombie Ogre. That's probably better there, but... yeah, they don't want us to copy this. Yeah, at least we delayed them. That's right, Patty. Clattering skeletons. Okay, so they're playing this card. Search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to a number of harmony counters. Put in your hand. If it's legendary, create a treasure. So they just get to draw like very specific cards from their deck. Interesting. I guess I just equip this over here. This on its own can block the Zombie Ogre. Or it can block the skeletons, I guess. I don't really want to give them 2 triggers in the dungeon, and like if we kill clattering skeletons, they get to venture, and then they would get to venture off of Zombie Ogre. So that seems kind of bad. But I also don't want to take 4 damage off of this. Yeah, actually, I am pleasantly surprised with how good the white cards are in this set, Patty Laddie. White looks like a solid color. Nice, more lands. Block, take 2, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely in a tight spot here. That Rangers class really wrecked us. What a good card. Okay. Well, we're definitely dead. See what we draw, and then pass the turn. Oh, okay, never mind. They just got us with the Dark Pool. Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, well, that was kind of rough. Oh, Patty, you think green is the weakest color? I've definitely liked what I've seen from white and black and red seems pretty good, like lots of synergies and stuff. All right, well, this is not ideal, but our deck isn't very good, and I think this is actually just going to be kind of what our deck does, like Charm Sleep something, bar the gate on something. Displacer Beast is nice. That's going to get us a Scry to hopefully find another white source. Oh, nice. We just got one here. So get the Displacer Beast out. Venture into the dungeon. Scry one. Yeah, happy to get Eccentric Apprentice. And we're going to do some dungeon delving this game by the looks of it. Opponent on 3 colors. What does this do? 6 mana, becomes a 7/7 ward 3. Wow, that seems pretty good. Is this like underwater? That's pretty cool. Cool. Well, don't really want to get hit by this. So maybe we just use the Charm Sleep right now. Also nice to bar the gate on whatever they play next. Like, is there a world where we're supposed to leave this up to block and then bar the gate on whatever they play? I would rather do that next turn, bar the gate plus Dwarfhold Champion. We could make a 1-1 this turn. We can make a treasure. Oh, okay, well... Huh. I'm not actually sure what to do here. I guess just when in doubt, play out your cards. Okay, well that's kind of a nice thing if they equip this up there. Be nice if they did it this turn, because then we can use Charm Sleep. Yeah, and they kind of waste a bit of their turn. Okay, well I'm glad we played the way we played last turn. And we'll just go a little bit aggro. If they get much more mana, maybe it's worth holding up this bar the gate, but I think our plan is just to keep putting creatures in play and attacking them. It's a 2/5. Okay, well they've got some of the black-blue cards. This makes one creature unblockable. That's okay. This is going to give us access to extra mana. That's kind of nice. This is attacking. This is not attacking. This is not attacking. Okay. So we just send for 2, right? I don't think I'm going to play anything here. I think there might be a world where we want to return this to our hand and keep doing the dungeon thing. And I don't mind keeping up Bar the Gate. I don't know if this is actually good, but... I don't think it's worth returning this to my hand. It attacks nicely this turn, so... Yeah, I just want to run out creatures to try and kill them, so... Maybe we run out this gnome. The idea is just like, we have to play a creature this turn, but this also gives us the added utility of untapping something. Okay, well, -11 and -11 to this creature is totally fine. Not worried about that. And putting that in our hand is whatever. Thieves' tools. Well, I think we're probably just supposed to attack them. Charm Sleep here. Attack for 3. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, kind of mana stranded here. They have to block if we attack. So we just attack, right? Kill their last creature. Run out another creature. And I'm going to play the Conjurer again. One, because they know about it. Two, because it can get us an extra mana. And if we play a mana next turn, maybe we can play Air Cult Elemental. Although now we can't target this, right? Yeah. Okay, well, we can give something flying. That's kind of nice. Yeah. We'll just give the Displacer Beast flying, I guess. All right, well, creatures and stuff. Creatures and stuff. That is a way to win. That was kind of a weird game. But, I mean, we attacked them with creatures and managed to get there. So, sometimes that's all you need to do. Not the most interesting deck, but sometimes you just, yeah. Sometimes you just got to put creatures in your deck and hope for the best. This is okay. If we draw land, we have a couple spells to play. We have some good top end. Again, I would say like this hand's not particularly good, but I think that's more because our deck isn't particularly strong than because like this hand individually is bad. So I don't want to mulligan this bad hand and just draw another bad hand because the deck is kind of janky. And I mean, I have a spell I can play. Any land gets me a second spell. We're definitely going to have a little bit of issue in this game, but we're going to do the best we can. And they just have a 3-1, which this trades with. Yeah, that seems fine. Cure some wounds. And if they attack, we will block. So we don't want to get attacked by this thing for every turn forever. Yeah, totally happy to trade off there. And nice, right on time. I think we probably start the dungeon thing and we're going to try and scry ourselves to a second blue mana. So definitely going into the dungeon is a great mechanic here. This card's great, but we can't play it because we don't have double blue. So we're going to try and dig for double blue. I assume we don't block this card because Gloomstalker blanks this next turn. There's also a world where we play Trickster's Talisman, put it on our flyer, copy the flyer, go into the dungeon again. That seems okay. Like a 1/1 token on this board's okay. Oh, nice. So we drew a land. That's awesome. I like the idea of playing Gloomstalker and Talisman, and then next turn maybe copying an Eccentric Apprentice. So Gloomstalker's going to blank their 2 cards, so I don't mind attacking. Play the equipment, use all the mana we can, and hey, who knows? Like, well, I guess using Mind Flayer on this 2/1 doesn't matter because the effect's already taken place. We also don't really want to bounce these cards because they get to draw extra cards and gain life, so ramping into Mind Flayer doesn't seem great, but I wouldn't mind taking this 4/4. That's not bad. It's also not an option. Maybe we just play Charm Sleep on Owlbear. We could also equip Talisman to here, attack, copy Apprentice, make a treasure token, and play Charm Sleep all in the same turn, and then we'll have 2 4/4 flyers. Is that good? Maybe? I mean, I do want to try and get through a dungeon if I can because of Gloomstalker, so... let's do this. I think the treasure's better than getting a 1/1. Because these still aren't attacking anyway. And our game plan is just going to be to try to clear the way for our flyers to attack. So this air elemental can bounce something that has reach, and or Mind Flayer can take control of something with reach, or their flyer. So yeah, I think we're actually in a decent position here. We're gonna play Conjurer after combat. And pass the turn and see what we can do. If they play something really good and we draw a land, Mind Flayer is going to be good. Actually, I guess Clever Conjurer allows us to play Mind Flayer now, so that's pretty nice. If they play some crazy card. Ooh, well, whatever they equip the longbow to, we might just steal. And then they have to pay 3 mana next turn to get their longbow back. That seems pretty good to me. We could also just play Air Elemental and bounce this, but then they have to play it and they get to draw a card again. And they'll gain a life. But if we bounce this, we can attack for 6. And we'll have a 2/5 flyer in play. That seems pretty good. I think that might actually be the play here. If they don't have time to play the extra card they draw, that's pretty good. Oh, or do we... No, we can't bounce. I was going to say we could bounce the equipment, but it looks like we can't. So let's bounce their 4/2. And attack with everything. Try and put some pressure on them. And now we have 6 in the air. That's pretty good. And just keep chipping away. If they play something really good, we can bounce it or steal it. Seems good. Yeah, I think we probably just make the same play. Bounce the priest. And now we're attacking with everything. Right on. Okay, creatures and stuff. Let's go. Creatures and stuff. Our last deck went 2-3. We're currently 2-1 with this deck. Let's see if maybe we can beat our performance. Oh, this hand looks kind of bad. But again, it's the same thing. I think our deck is just kind of weak, so... Let's get the Wizards class going. At least we'll get to draw a couple cards off of this. And hey, putting 1/1 counters on bad creatures makes them into good creatures, so not awful. Yeah, creatures and stuff for the win. That's right, Patty Laddie. Creatures and stuff. Oh, that's kind of scary. Not sure what to do here. I assume this card is just bad, right? Cleric class is good in a life gain deck, which they seem to have, so that's kind of nice for them. It's too bad you can't do these as instant speed abilities, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we're probably just supposed to turbo out the level 2 here, so let's draw some cards. Well, I guess we can attack with this first, right? they equip, they attack, they... Kind of kind of okay attacking here. I do not want to sacrifice the dagger. I do want to draw 2 cards. And then next turn, I'm probably just activating this, and we're going to try and beef up our Conjurer. Seems pretty good. Opponent's stuck on mana. That's too bad for them. But that happens. Happens to us, happens to everybody. And now Conjurer is going to start to get really big. Every turn it's going to get a 1/1 counter. We definitely want to play Dongbringer Cleric next turn because we want to have targets for everything. We could even use the Cleric to kill Cleric class, although... I was going to say it'd be nice to make them pay the 4 first, but I don't want them to pay the 4 attack, get the counter right away. That seems kind of bad. We have 6 mana here. We're going to spend 2 of it here. I think we just leave up Bar the Gate forever now, right? Even though we're going to telegraph that. Well, so far, blowing up enchantments with Dawnbringer Cleric has seemed really good to me. And now if they play any creature, that's kind of nice. Bar the Gate's good. I mean, like I said, we telegraph our play by not equipping the Talisman, but I'd rather still be safe about it. And, like, what are they going to do? Just never play another creature and then they lose? Yeah, happy to do this. And... do we want a scry, or do we want to do this? I don't think we're going to do that many levels of a dungeon, so we'll just do the scry. Get rid of whatever lands on top. Ooh, Dwarfold Champion is actually going to be fine with Trickster's Talisman and with Spare Dagger, so I don't mind keeping that on top here. We do have to worry about our opponent getting us with the lifelink thing, so have to be kind of careful about that. I want to leave 3 mana up for Bar the Gate, which means I can afford to spend 2 mana this turn. So I'm going to start by attacking. And I'm going to spend 2 mana to equip this. If they play a mediocre creature, we're not going to counter it. With Wizard's class giving us counters every turn, I think this is going to be totally fine. They can't gain any more life at this point, so... Three, 4/3. I don't mind trading here. I don't really want to take 4 from this, but like we could eat this creature and kill their lifelinker, which is the real problem. I think maybe we just do this. Take 4. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not sure if it's right to make a second copy of Clever Conjurer there or not. Like a random 2/3 isn't that good, but I guess it does get counters, and like if they go to kill this card, that's kind of bad for us, so. Yeah, I mean, that's good. It is good. We are very close to death now. So maybe we were supposed to make the 2/3 there. This turn we can make a 1/1 Goblin. That's kind of nice. And now we do make the 2/3 as well. And yeah, I mean, our opponent has definitely put us to 1. Maybe we shouldn't have been as conservative with the Paladin there, but... yeah, okay, well, there we go. That was kind of rough. Maybe we were supposed to trade off for the Paladin earlier. I mean, we dealt a ton of damage to our opponent that game, but they gained a bunch of life, so... yeah, kind of tough. This hand's okay. Again, I think it's mostly just because their deck isn't that great, that the hands don't look that great, but we'll keep it. And maybe we'll draw our Cleric again and blow up their class card. Well, I hope they play some equipment and suit this up and we get to bounce it. That would be lovely. All right, well, gaining a bunch of life is going to be pretty good for the opponent. But we don't have anything to play here, so that's kind of sad. If we draw another island, that'll be nice. I think this turn we have to bounce something. Are we supposed to bounce this? This costs 5 mana total. This costs 2 mana, but saves us 3 life. I think this saves us the most time, right? Nice. Well, could use another land. Not the land we wanted, but we're not going to complain. It does block. It blocks their 2/3, and it potentially gets us a 4th mana for next turn. Like, we could play Charm Sleep next turn off of this. Ooh. Alright, so we have up to 5 mana available. We could play Gloomstalker and play Fly, Hidden, Scry. We could equip this to make it a 3/4. They're probably going to equip this turn. Either one they equip is bad for us. We probably want them to pay the 3 mana to equip before we use Charm Sleep. We could also draw 2 cards, make this a 3/4. And then they can only attack with 1 thing. And we get to draw 2 cards. Is that better than playing a 2-3 and equipping something? Probably not. It's probably better to have more creatures in play right now. Oh, except we would have to tap that. Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, being able to double block stuff is pretty good, so we'll just go like this and pass the turn. Actually, Spare Dagger would be pretty nice if we could use it to ping off the Dwarfhold champion. Now we use Charm Sleep over here. And we can... yeah. Suit up our Clever Conjurer. And what happens if they tap 4, they gain life, they make this a 3/4. That's not that good for us. I don't really care about Coppering Conjurer, so I'm not going to attack this turn. I would rather be able to block their life gain card. I mean, they can obviously throw their mace over here, but... oh, well, that's good. Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gain some life, attack for 3 in the air. Okay. Well, the flyer is a problem, so we need to play fly this turn to have a blocker. And this is a problem because they can make this bigger. So I think we have to play Dawnbringer Cleric and we have to play fly this turn, which leaves us only 2 mana left over. So we can't do this unless we draw land this turn off of Wizard's class. So we could try to draw land. Worst case scenario, we take 2 damage from that. That's kind of risky, but I think this card is going to be really bad for us. We could just play both of these this turn, get rid of that, make this a 3/4 flying. Yeah, that's probably safer, right? Maybe we're supposed to give the Gloomstalker flying, but... I guess they can just put the mace on this, and then we have to block it. That's kind of rough too, so... yeah, that's kind of rough, but that's how it goes. And then we get rid... oh, man. Yeah, then the fly's gone. Yeah, we're going to have a tough time winning this game. We need to draw Island and the other thing. Alright, well, we can't do anything about the flyer. So we're just done. Wow, that's rough. Well, 2 kind of bad decks in a row. A little bit rough games today, but hey, that's what happens in draft. They can't all be winners, and really weird one this time. We were basically mono blue. I'm glad we decided to put the white cards in. That definitely made the deck better, and I think that Cleric, the Dawnbringer Cleric, was really nice. So that was a good card to have. These cards, whatever, but it was worth it for Dawnbringer Cleric. We didn't get to do anything cool with Mind Flayer or Scholar or anything like that, but we did get some wins. Our creatures and stuff did get us a couple of wins, which is nice. Appreciate everyone that came out for the stream today.